Should we be concerned about the welfare of these animals? Why? Why not? What specific concerns are there? What types of interactions do these animals currently have with humans? What factors determine what they are worth? And can this animal be domesticated? What features of the animal either make domestication possible or impossible? It is important to note that there are thousands of pigeon breeds, but I will only be discussing the domestic and feral pigeon. In terms of question 1, there seems to be a general disliking of pigeons, or the flying rat. And I believe this lack of concern for pigeons' welfare is due to the sheer number of the birds and the areas in which they occupy. With feral pigeons occupying almost every human settlement and their ability to succeed in living with humans, the pigeon isn't in any risk of extinction. And it doesn't seem like this is going to be the case anytime soon. Pigeons also are seen by the general population as a pest, causing damage to infrastructure and costing money, which also lends to the general lack of concern. Now on to question 2. Pigeons have 5 main interactions with humans. The first we'll explore is that of pet pigeons. A pigeon can cost anywhere from $50 to $300, and a coop again a small price to the thousands, depending on the amount of birds housed. There is also feed and vet bills. This being said, there is no way to put a value on a companion, and each person will have their own value for their own bird. Secondly, pigeons, mainly that of feral pigeons, are seen as pests. As stated earlier, pigeons cause a lot of damage, especially when they are found in large numbers. This is due to their guano, which is corrosive and causes damage to infrastructure. It can also cause disease in humans, although this is rare. The exact amount spent on eradicating pigeons is not known, as most councils leave it to individuals to deal with the pigeon problems themselves. This can be achieved by non-lethal ways, by removing a food source, or over a few years removing nests and pigeon-proofing your premises. Alternatively, lethal action can be taken by shooting or poisoning the birds. All methods come at a cost, showing that pigeons are seen as being worth so little that people will pay to get rid of them. Thirdly, pigeons are used for sports. Thankfully, pigeons are no longer used as shooting targets, but as racers, competing in a wide array of different style races, which can bring in big money. Prize money can reach into the 5- and 6-figure mark, and recently a Belgian racer was sold for €310,000, that's 440,000 Australian dollars. Next, pigeons are used for food. Although not a common food in Australia, pigeon, or swab, is a delicacy in many parts of the world from Asia to Europe. It was almost impossible to find, but after converting US dollars to Australian dollars, a squab was found to be just over $10 for half a kilo. That shows how valued the meat can be. Finally, pigeons are used for research. Again, we are unable to put a price on the knowledge that we have gained from these animals. There is, however, concern about the treatment and living areas of these animals, as they are usually only given the bare essentials to live, with no enrichment. Now to the third and final question. Pigeon domestication has been documented as far back as 5,000 years ago, but it is believed it may have occurred as far back as 10,000 years ago. Edward Price says that for true domestication to occur, there needs to be a captive niche to be filled. For the pigeons, this is food. Secondly, they need to be fairly plastic behaviourally, and they should exhibit all 8 of the following qualities. They must live naturally in large groups. This prepares them for social interactions, and they generally accept some kind of dominant hierarchy. Pigeons live in large groups called flocks. Happily, however, they do not follow a social hierarchy. Are not aggressive, which pigeons are not. Are not sensitive to changes in the environment. You'll find pigeons in almost any city, town or suburb worldwide, except the Sahara Desert, Antarctica and the high Arctic, showing they are not sensitive to change. Are sexually promiscuous rather than bonding for life, and typically have sexual behaviour based on male dominance and signalling by way of movement or posture. The pigeon mates for life, with both parents feeding the young. At approximately 2 months of age, the young pigeons are ready to leave the nest. This is longer than average time and is not suited to domestication.
Created using Powtoon.
produce young which are born in a well-developed state and which can be easily separated from their parents. As said before, baby pigeons have a longer time in the nest than most other birds, which is not ideal. Have a short flight distance from man, so are more likely to be readily tamed and controlled. Pigeons are happy in the company of humans and over time learn not to fear them. Have a small home range so do not become unduly stressed by inactivity or captivity. Flights as long as 1,800 kilometers have been recorded by birds in captive pigeon races, making them unsuited to captivity in this sense. Are generalist feeders rather than having specialized dietary requirements that are difficult to maintain. A pigeon's diet consists primarily of grains and seeds, along with insects and some greens, but pigeons aren't terribly picky, and they'll happily accept human food scraps and leftovers when available. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found the qualities of human-pigeon relations of interest.
Created using Powtoon.